A few days ago, the E3 was broadcasting lots of shows from lots of game devs, and I watched it live with a lot of you guys, and it was a ton of fun. There was almost 1,800 people who joined me, and we watched lots of trailers and shows and feel-good puff pieces, and we oohed and we ahed and we mercilessly mocked many things because there were many things worthy of mockery, and we had a good time. We also gave away some games from GOG, who of course I am in a partnership with. Big thank you to GOG for all of those game keys. Big congratulations to all of the winners of those games. And a big thank you to the moderators who helped me do that. Because, yeah, I hadn't realized they'd changed the user interface on MooBot and was caught a little off guard. So these guys rushed to the rescue and made it all possible. And to be honest with you, a big thank you for helping out the entire evening. And an apology, I really should have told you guys to go to bed once it got to silly o'clock in the morning. There comes a point in a live stream where you guys should just say, tired, I'm out, go to bed. Honestly, at that point, the trolls are probably too tired to troll. I appreciate everything you guys do, but please don't be ruining your health. I ended up going to bed at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I appreciate many of the moderators don't have that option. Look after yourselves. I love you guys to bits. I appreciate everything you do for me. I should have told you to go to bed, but instead it was actually you guys telling me to go to bed, probably because you wanted to go to bed. I really appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you very, very much. Now, my original plan was to release a few short videos where I just said whether or not I liked a show and whether I was hyped or not so hyped for whatever it is they were showing. Because, of course, the live show was 7.5 hours, and I figured nobody wants to wade through 7.5 hours of a recorded live stream. So I would just do some short videos where I talk about each show, and some of the shows would just be me saying, yo, this looked really, really good, and this one caught me by surprise. That sort of thing. And of course, there were a few where I was going to be having a lot of fun mocking, and you know which ones. Those of you who were there, you know which ones. So I was just going to have a little bit of fun. And that's why I called I was going to call the series Hype or Gripe, So like Cyberpunk, hyped. Absolutely hyped. The show was kind of cool. It didn't give us any new information, but it hyped us. Well, it gave us a release date. It did give us a release date. And I think it was the release date most of us were expecting, although I think some of us secretly hoped for something sooner, but hyped. So that was obviously going to be one in the hype. And it was just going to be that. That was it. But that video did not go down as well as I thought it would go down. There were plenty of people who did like it, but it was quite easily one of the most disliked videos I've made in a long time, and it got a lot of negative feedback in the comments. And I will admit the negative feedback in this case got to me because it wasn't the usual sort of random hate, the usual, oh my God, you suck, oh my God, you're blind, oh my God, etc., etc. It was people who were genuinely upset with the video. Not even my opinions. Because I didn't really express any opinions in the video beyond looking forward to Cyberpunk. And it was more the content or the style, and it really was quite it was unpleasant, to be honest, and I hate that. When I go to the comments of my videos, I always expect some comments from some people that are going to make me want to facepalm, but this was actually quite... It was quite overwhelming. There were a lot of comments from people who seemed really, really upset that I even bothered to make the video. They didn't see the point of the video. They felt like I wasn't telling them anything they didn't know. Although, to be honest, here's the thing. that was not the point of the video. I wasn't trying to tell you something that you didn't know, other than whether or not I was hyped or not for the show. You know, whether that show got me all excited for the product or whether it just made me want to mock them. That was really the point. And you know what? I obviously did not get that across to a lot of people, because there were people who were genuinely upset that that I wasn't telling them anything new. So, you know, like I do apologize if you feel misled into watching a video, but that it really was not. The entire point of that series was to give you a very quick synopsis of what I had said during the stream without having to watch 7.5 hours of VOD. That really was it. But there were also people who were really upset with me cracking jokes about Keanu Reeves. I mean, really genuinely, they seemed upset and felt like I'd insulted him or something. And I wasn't. I cracked a joke. Keanu Reeves, for those of you who didn't watch, Keanu Reeves appeared at the end of a cinematic trailer, because that's really what we got. We got a cinematic trailer and we got a release date. And the cinematic trailer was really cool. And I probably should have put a spoiler alert on this one. Probably should have put a spoiler alert. You probably have heard this by now. But anyway, right at the end of the cinematic trailer, he appears. Just that was it. And of course, the crowd were like, really like, whoa! And everyone in my chat was like, whoa, what? And then on stage came Keanu Reeves, and I cracked a joke because essentially, when you saw him in this cinematic trailer, he was looking all badass with like cybernetics and sunglasses, and just he was looking badass. And you see his silhouette, and I'm like, oh my God, they've got Keanu Reeves. And, you know, I had this sort of feeling he was going to come on and be all John Wick badass. You know, when you see him as a character that's a badass character. And I was expecting him to come on and maybe have a long coat and sunglasses and be all Neo from the Matrix or John Wick. And he wasn't. He came on and he was apparently himself. He was, to me, the Keanu Reeves I remember from Bill and Ted's. And I said this, and I cracked a joke saying they got the wrong Keanu Reeves. I didn't actually mean it. I wasn't actually critiquing them for telling Keanu Reeves to be himself. It was a joke about expectations. I saw the badass character in the trailer, and then I expected the badass Keanu Reeves character. That's all. It was a joke. It was a pure, unadulterated joke. I've got nothing against. I liked Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Okay, it was a joke. But people were upset. It was actually quite amazing how many people were upset. So that was a little worrying. But there were also a lot of people who seemed really genuinely disappointed with me for not knowing Keanu Reeves was in the game. And I did not. The first I saw of Keanu Reeves, the first hint I had at Keanu Reeves being in this game was when I saw his face in the cinematic trailer, and then he came on stage and said that he was had been asked to be involved in the project. And even then, I still wasn't sure whether it was just promotional material. It was just for, a cameo for promotion purposes, or whether he was actually going to be an in-game character. Apparently, he's going to be an in-game character, but a lot of people were really, really, really bothered by the fact that I didn't know that. There were people sort of like, I am so disappointed in you. I expect better of you was a comment I received a couple of times from a couple of people. This is not the quality content I expect from someone like you. Because I didn't actually know. There were people saying, how could you not know? He was in the gameplay footage that they released. And I will totally admit, I did not watch all the gameplay footage from that they released previously. I only watched a bit of it to get a teaser. But I'm not totally sure he was in that gameplay footage because I think everyone else would have known. And I got the feeling from all the people viewing my live stream that nobody else knew either. So I'm not 100% sure why everyone was staggered and surprised that I didn't realize at the time that he was in this. And there were people saying, but yeah, no, he was in the gameplay footage. Did you not see the gameplay footage at the show? I didn't. I saw, what, like, there was 3 or 4 seconds of gameplay footage before Keanu Reeves gave us the release date. And I will admit, I may have been glancing at the chat, because that's what, I mean, all the way through this show, I'm glancing at the chat to see what other people are saying as well. I may have missed it if it was there. But even if I'd have seen him in a 2-second clip, I still wouldn't have been totally sure whether or not they'd added the character for real or whether it was just for the cinematic trailers, like for the promotion. No, I mean, you know, I just didn't know. That was all. I didn't know. But people were really, really upset with me for not knowing that, for not having seen him in this gameplay footage, for missing the gameplay footage. I mean, I'm wondering, was there some other gameplay footage at some other point and I missed it? And it was really obvious that he was there. But if so, I missed that. Once we saw the cinematic trailer, we saw him come on stage and we saw the release date, we all just switched off and started talking about other things. And we only ever looked back when something else interesting appeared. And, you know, like I unmuted it and we carried on. So if I did miss it, I do apologize. But really, I don't understand people's massive disappointment in me for not knowing that. And if it was one person, I would have just said, welcome to the channel. Because you're obviously new here. Because that, you know, I mean, let's face it, half the gaming news I get, no, 99% of the gaming news I probably get from you guys. You send me stuff in Discord, Twitter, you comment on my YouTube. You guys are the ones who tell me a new mod has arrived that I might be interested in 15 seconds after it's released on Nexus. You guys always spot these things and send me messages way before I spot them. You know, it's true of every single solitary game trailer. There are very few times where I organically come across something that you guys have not already told me. This is partly because I don't go through forums and Reddits and things like that. I don't have time. I barely have enough time to read the comments on my YouTube channel. In fact, I don't feel I read enough of the comments. I feel it's getting harder and harder to keep on top of all the comments on all of the videos. At least, you know, some of the videos I want to keep on top of, some of my tutorial videos and things like that. So spend a lot more time for that. I don't spend enough time reading comments on my mod pages because it's a matter of time. So me going through news channels to know stuff like which voice actors are going to be in which games is just, it's never going to happen. It's never going to be a thing. I'm not that channel. I'm not, but the fact that so many people was disappointed by this sort of caught me off guard. I wasn't sure how to take that. I really was not, and I will admit I initially took it very, very badly. I was not happy at all. I was because the comments were, well, they were quite patronizing in ways. You know, you've disappointed me. I felt like I'd stolen a car and run over a parade of Girl Guides or something. You know, like it was like, you have committed the cardinal sin of not knowing Keanu Reeves is in this game. I can no longer follow you. Unsubbed. Well, they didn't say that, but this is what it felt like to me. I was like, all right, I didn't know. I'm sorry. So yeah. So I pulled the video and I deleted all the rest because I honestly think the rest were probably going to be received even worse. Because, well, I don't know. I don't know how they've been received. But here's the thing. That video put me in the wrong headspace and it knocked me off the headspace I want to be in when I'm making my videos. And so it's put me back. And I've got to get on and try and get the backlog of videos for vacation time done. So I'm concentrating on those now. I'm concentrating on the stuff I have to get done. The videos I that my viewers, I think, expect from me. And sort of these extra little videos like that, no, I'm putting them to side for now until I absolutely know I'm on track, and then maybe I'll do some other videos, take a few risks. But right now, I need my headspace to be in its happy place. Right, I want the terrible comments to be the usual. Oh my God, you're so slow, you're so blind, you're so stupid, you are so bad at this game. Comments I could deal with, right? It's a sort of comments I know how to look at and think, okay, moving on, that sort of thing. Because the comments I was getting on that last video, I just did not quite know how to take them and how to respond. So, yeah. And again, they're not the sort of videos that my channel's built on, so moving on, right? If you are absolutely determined to find out what I was thinking and what I was saying, there is a 7-hour video. I will put a link down below. You can go and watch it if you want. I figure if you've got anything unpleasant to say after watching 7.5 hours, you've earned it. You've earned it. At 7.5 hours, you've earned the right. So knock yourself out.